Hey guys, today we're going to talk about my top 10 gateway games. Now, for me, a gateway game is something that you introduce to someone who's never played a hobby board game and you're hoping to get them into the hobby. So let's get right to it. I do have some honorable mentions, but to make so that this video isn't too long, I'll post them in the description below. And with that, number 10 is Downforce by Restoration Games. Now, Downforce is a auctioning and betting racing game. You're going to auction off cars and people are going to buy them in the beginning of the game. And then once all the players have their cars ready, they're going to go around the track by playing cards. You're also going to get individual player powers in this before that. And during certain positions in the track, you're going to start a betting phase on who you think is going to win. And at the end of the game, depending on how much you had to pay for your cars in the beginning and whether or not you were right into betting who would win, that's going to determine the winner. I put this at number 10 only because of the auctioning and betting mechanic and the player powers. Those are three things that I feel like players may not be used to, and but to ease them in a little bit better, Restoration Games does have an app for Downforce that simplifies the betting and auctioning mechanic a lot. So I feel like it's a great gateway game because of the theme, but the mechanics might be a little bit too complicated. But again, make sure you get the app. And that was number 10, Downforce by Restoration Games. Number 9 is Grim Forest by Druid City Games. In Grim Forest, you're going to play as one of the nieces and nephews of the Three Little Pigs. And it's a little bit of a resource management. You're trying to get either wood, straw, or brick, with various resources being more, brick being less, and straw being the highest resource available. And you're going to place your player token in one of 4 locations. And if one or more players are at the location, you have to split the resources amongst each other. There's also card play involved, and that might get a little, you might have to break out the rules clarification, the rule book to understand those player powers, or the card powers. But I put this at number 9 because of that. But the production quality, the insert by Game Trays is amazing. The minis, even though that you may not mess with the minis in a game, it's not a guarantee. Just the production will wow anybody. Just again, the having to set your location, share resources, and having to deal with the card powers might confuse some players, but nevertheless, it's a fantastic game. So that was number 9, Grim Forest by Druid City Games. Number 8 is an old favorite, King of Tokyo. This is the first edition copy by Yellow Games. In King of Tokyo, you're all monsters battling out for Tokyo, and you do that by rolling dice. You have a potential to roll these dice up to 3 times, and you can gain either energy tokens, hearts to heal yourself up, attack other players, or gain victory points. You want to be either the first player to gain 20 victory points, or be the last monster standing by eliminating all the other monsters. Super simple game. Again, there's card play involved, card powers, which I believe that may, stumble up some new players. And other than that, oh, and then the player count, I know there's Tokyo City and Tokyo Bay, and I've never really gotten a clear answer on how Tokyo Bay is supposed to work. But other than that, you know, super fun, simple game. If you want to step up the difficulty a bit, there is a power-up expansion. And I forgot to mention there is an expansion out for Downforce as well. I'll be sure to remember to bring up any other expansions with the coming games. But anyways, that was number 8, King of Tokyo. Number 7 holds a dear place in my heart, and that is Tokaido by Funforge Games. That was actually the game that got me into board gaming. So in Tokaido, you're just traveling this bridge to Edo, Japan, and you're just trying to have the most fulfilling vacation. You're either going to go to these vistas and paint these panoramas, go to the shop, try to do some set collecting, go to the inn, have the most expensive meals, but all you're just trying to place your little meeple. It's almost my first worker placement game. So the only clever thing this game has is the last person at the beginning of the road goes first. So let's say the first player goes very close to the first inn that you could stop at. You're giving all the players after you all those turns to catch up to you. So that was the only little stumbling thing that we had when I first played it. People were just mind blown about the turn order. But other than that, it's a really streamlined game. All you're doing is trying to get points in various locations. So again, this has 2 expansions out, and you can upgrade your pieces with metal coins or even get you know, the minis for it. But that was number 7, Tokaido by Funforge Games. Number 6 is Megaland by Red Raven Games. This is a new game. It's Target exclusive. And in Megaland, you are trying to build up your arcade. And you do that by entering a video game, and you're trying to make it out with the most treasure so that you can come back and pay for different types of buildings to gain coins. The first player to 20 coins initiates the end game. Super simple, push your luck kind of game. All you're doing is entering the level, and as long as you don't die, you take whatever treasures you get when you get out of the video game, and then there's a set of buildings that you buy with those treasures, as long as they're different treasures, and you're trying to just accumulate coins. Again, simple. If you feel like one of the locations are overpowered, it comes with extra locations that you could switch out, so that gives the game more replayability. And you know, it was just a fun time all around. Gorgeous art, awesome insert by Game Trays. Again, that was Megaland by Red Raven Games. We're at number 5, and it's going to be Tsuro by Calliope Games. Now, Tsuro, the theme is that you're a dragon flying through the sky, and you're trying not to clash with other dragons, or you're trying not to get your player piece off the board. If you do either of those things, you lose. Simple game. All you got to do is you're going to have 3 tiles in your hand. You just got to place one. That's it. It says 2 to 8 players, but I feel like max should be like 5. At 8 it would be too chaotic, but it's a simple game. Maybe some people won't like it because it's too simple, but the aesthetics you know, are beautiful. Components are very well made, So that's why I'm going to give Tesoro my recommendation. At number 4, we have another Target exclusive, and that is Vegas dice game. This is a second edition of sorts of Las Vegas, the dice game, which was nominated for the Spiel des Jahres a couple of years back. Really simple game. All you're going to do is place these tiles down in front of you, which represent casinos, and you're going to have these awesome money cards that you're going to lay down. And all you're going to do is you're going to have a handful of dice, you're going to roll them, and however many sets of them you have, you could place them in one casino. So the thing is that, say I have 2 6s that I rolled. Well, I placed them in the red casino. Well, the player next to me also rolled 2 6s and places them in the red casino. If we don't roll anything else during the round, they cancel each other out. And let's say player 3 rolled a 4. Well, he gets the cash out of that casino. Really simple game. I haven't had any trouble rules-wise with this game. You could teach in like 10 minutes or less. So awesome game. The second edition just ups the production quality immensely. So that was Vegas dice game. Number 3 is going to be Sonar. Now this is a slimmed down version of Captain Sonar. And Captain Sonar, you could have up to 8 people play 4-on-4 against submarines. Here it's 2-on-2, or 1 versus 2. But in either case, you're going to have a radio operator that's going to try and listen to the directions that the other captain is giving, and then you're going to be the captain. The captain's responsible with just giving directions out loud. You have to say what you're doing out loud, and then you're going to be gaining energy with every movement, and then you can implement different weapon systems or different perks once you've gained enough energy. Super simple game. The rules are really streamlined for this. It even works as a 2-player game. You can either play it turn by turn or in real time. If you're playing with 2 people, I mean, you're gonna have to play turn by turn, which is still fun. Me and my wife had a blast. So, excuse me. That was number 3, Sonar by Magdot Games. Now, number 2, I had to get rid of the case because there's so much dead space in it, and I think you know which game I'm talking about. It's going to be Splendor. Now, in Splendor, the whole theme of the game is that you're a jewel trader trying to get the royals to notice you. But the theme is really, thin. What everybody loves about this game is the component quality, the chips, and I think it's because as a new person getting into tabletop games, for me, coming with a background that I played Uno most of my life, when I first got these chips, it was so satisfying to hold in the hand and to play with. Kind of felt like you were playing poker, and then by the time you get your engine going and your tableaus going, you care less about that, and you more get into this rhythm, and you kind of get the wheels going, and it's just exciting all around. I feel like this doesn't get as much love because of Century, Spice Road, or Golem Edition. And I've said before in the past, yes, Century is the better game, the better looking game, the more, mechanisms. But I feel like for gateway gamers, Splendor is the game that you gotta, bust out. So number 2 is Splendor. And number 1 is, no surprise, Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride by Days of Wonder. Now, there's a reason why so many people think Ticket to Ride is the gateway game. You're only going to do 3 things on your turn. You're either going to get 2 train cards, unless one of them is a wild. You're going to use those train cards to place your trains on the route, or you're going to draw more destination cards. That's it. Super simple game with an amazing production quality. I think when you're just introducing someone that's new to board games, keeping it light and simple is key. They're not used to handling different mechanics. So Ticket to Ride does that so well with with beautiful quality. Now, truth be told, that's the only reason why I got Ticket to Ride. To introduce to new gamers. I myself kinda, I played it and I was like, okay, I could see the value in this, and I'm keeping it, but I won't bust it out on my own time. My go-to Ticket to Ride is Ticket to Ride New York, also Target exclusive as of now. And Ticket to Ride New York, they just scaled down the map, and it's basically a 15-minute version of Ticket to Ride, which I feel like hits the sweet spot. I love that version of the game. I had fun playing it at 4. Now, I didn't try to introduce new people into the game with Ticket to Ride New York, and I feel like it went by too fast. So vanilla Ticket to Ride works perfectly for new gamers because they need that extra time to get used to the mechanics. But once you're with seasoned gamers, Ticket to Ride New York is a perfect, substitute. So those were my top 10 gateway games. Like I said, there are honorable mentions, and I'll list them down in the description below. But yeah, if you felt like I missed one, or tell me what got you into board games. And with that, guys, I will leave you with